Welcome to Duskhaven Sleep Stories, a quiet place where the day gently fades and soft stories carry you into rest. Hello and welcome back. If you're here, then it's time to set everything down. The phone can wait. The to-do list can wait. Tomorrow can wait just a little longer. Right now, there is only this moment. You, somewhere comfortable, in the soft dark, letting your breath slow down. Tonight's story is a gentle one. It takes place in a very special greenhouse at midnight, where the air smells of warm soil and tropical flowers, where everything is quiet and alive all at once. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to remember anything. Just listen. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. And let the story carry you. Her name was Noah, and she had always been the kind of person who couldn't quite sleep before midnight. It wasn't that she was anxious, exactly. It was more that the world felt quieter after 11. And her mind had a habit of wandering through that quiet, the way someone might wander through an empty museum. Slowly, curiously, without any particular destination. On this particular evening, Noah was sitting by her bedroom window with a cup of chamomile tea that had gone mostly cold, watching the fog settle over the garden outside her apartment building. The city beyond was still making its usual sounds. A distant siren, the soft rumble of a late-night bus, the occasional murmur of voices from a neighbor's television. But those sounds felt far away, muffled, like they belonged to another world entirely. On the little wooden table beside her sat a handwritten note. She had found it that afternoon, tucked beneath the door of her apartment, written on thick cream-colored paper in very neat, very small handwriting. She picked it up again now and read it for the 4th time. Dear Noah, you are warmly invited to a midnight picnic in the Botanical greenhouse at Westhallow Garden. The greenhouse will be open from 11:30 this evening until the early hours of the morning. Please bring yourself, your warmest socks, and an openness to something gentle. There will be tea, there will be things to look at, and there will be no hurry whatsoever. A friend who thought you might need this. Noah had spent the afternoon wondering whether it was real. She had no idea who had left it. She had no close friends who would do something like this. Or, well, she had friends, good ones, but none of them wrote on cream-colored paper with that kind of handwriting. And yet she found herself at 11:15, putting on her warmest coat and her thickest woolly socks, and walking through the foggy night toward Westhallow Garden. The garden was only a 10-minute walk from her apartment, through narrow streets lined with old plane trees whose branches reached toward each other overhead, like the fingers of two hands about to meet. Noah walked slowly. She was in no hurry. The fog had thickened since sunset, and it softened everything around her. The street lamps wore halos of pale gold. The parked cars were blurred shapes. The cobblestones underfoot gleamed faintly with moisture. It smelled of damp bark and cold air, and something faintly sweet that she couldn't identify. She breathed it in. Her footsteps were very quiet. Somewhere nearby, a cat sat on a wall and watched her pass with the specific indifference that only cats can manage. Its eyes caught the lamplight for a moment. 2 small green flames, and then it looked away. Noah smiled at it anyway. Westhallow Garden had a pair of tall iron gates that were usually locked at dusk. But as Noah approached, she found them open just slightly, just enough to slip through, and beyond them, the path wound down through dark hedges and sleeping flower beds toward a low glow at the far end of the garden. The Botanical greenhouse. She had been here before, in the daytime, when it was full of visitors and the sound of children, and recorded birdsong playing from small speakers. She had always liked it then, but she had never imagined what it might look like at midnight. From the outside, it was extraordinary. The glass panels glowed from within with a warm amber light, and the condensation on the inside of the glass made the whole structure look like a lantern half submerged in mist. The Victorian ironwork of its frame arched gracefully against the dark sky and through the foggy glass. Noah could just make out the silhouettes of enormous tropical leaves pressed against the panes. She stood outside for a long moment, just looking at it. Then she pushed open the low wooden door and stepped inside. The warmth hit her first. After the cold fog of the garden, stepping into the greenhouse was like being wrapped in something soft. The air was thick and humid, and smelled overwhelmingly of living things, of dark soil and green growth. And somewhere, faintly, of jasmine. Noah stood just inside the door and let the warmth settle over her. She unbuttoned her coat. She took a slow, deep breath. The greenhouse was long and high-ceilinged, its glass roof arching 20 feet above her head. Along its length, the plants had been allowed to grow very freely. Banana palms with leaves the size of small boats. Enormous ferns with fronds that curled at their tips like sleeping fingers. Climbing vines that had wound themselves around the iron supports and draped down in long curtains of green. The amber light came from strings of small, warm Edison bulbs that had been woven through the canopy above, and from a series of low lanterns placed along the central path, each one casting a pool of honey-colored light on the mossy ground. And there, in the very center of the greenhouse, beneath the widest fan of a traveler's palm, was the picnic. A large blanket had been spread on the mossy ground, deep rust-red and soft-looking, scattered with cushions in colors that reminded Noah of autumn. Burnt orange, forest green, warm brown. In the center of the blanket sat a low wooden tray with a small ceramic teapot, 2 cups, a plate of tiny sandwiches with their crusts cut off, a bowl of dark grapes, and a small jar of honey with a wooden dipper resting across its top. A single candle in a glass jar flickered beside the tray, and sitting cross-legged on one of the cushions, holding a cup of tea in both hands and looking perfectly unsurprised to see her, was a man Noah did not recognize. He was perhaps 60 years old, with white hair cut short and a face that was deeply lined in a way that suggested decades of being outdoors, of squinting into sunlight and wind and rain. He had the kind of eyes that were difficult to age, very dark, very calm, very awake. He was wearing a forest green sweater and, Noah noticed, extremely woolly socks with small foxes on them. "You came," he said, and his voice was low and quiet, the way voices naturally become in places that are sleeping. "I came," Noah agreed. She was not frightened. She was not sure why, but she was not frightened at all. There was something about the way he sat, unhurried, unassuming, that made the whole situation feel less strange than it had any right to. "Please," he said, nodding at the blanket. "Sit. The tea is still hot." Noah sat. His name, he told her, was Marin. He had been the head botanist at Westthalow Garden for 31 years, though he was retiring in the spring. "I've always loved the greenhouse at night," he said, looking up through the canopy at the amber lights and the dark glass roof beyond. In the daytime it belongs to everyone. At night it belongs to itself. Noah poured herself a cup of tea. It was something floral. Hibiscus, she thought, or perhaps rosehip. It was very warm and very good. "Did you write the note?" she asked. "I did," Marin said. He did not seem at all embarrassed about it. "I've been doing this for a few years now, on the evenings when I stay late. I leave a note for someone who looks like they might need a quiet night. I've found that the right person always comes." "How do you know who needs it?" He smiled. It was a small, private smile, the kind that lives mostly in the eyes. "I watch people when they walk through the garden in the daytime. Most people walk quickly. They're looking at the plants, yes, but they're also thinking about other things, their phones, their next appointment, what they'll cook for dinner." He paused. "But occasionally I see someone who stops, really stops. They stand in front of a plant and they just look at it for a long time. The way you look at something when you're very tired and also very hungry for something you can't quite name." He glanced at her. "You stopped in front of the Amorphophilus titanum for almost 10 minutes last Thursday." Noah thought back. "The giant arum?" "The very same," he nodded. "It won't bloom for another 8 months, but you looked at it as though it had something to tell you." She laughed softly. "I didn't realize I'd been there that long." "That," Marin said gently, "is exactly why I left you the note." They ate the little sandwiches, cucumber and cream cheese, thin slices of something that tasted faintly of dill, and the dark grapes. And they drank their tea, and they talked very little and very easily about things that didn't matter very much. a book Maren had been reading about cloud formations. A small cafe near Noah's apartment that made exceptional lemon cake. The specific quality of silence in a city at 2 in the morning versus the silence of a forest. Then Maren set down his cup and said, "Would you like a tour?" "A nighttime tour," Noah sighed. "The best kind." He stood in the unhurried way of a person who has nowhere to be and knows it, and lifted one of the low lanterns from beside the path. Noah stood too, tucking her hands into the sleeves of her coat. Not because she was cold, but because the warmth of the greenhouse had made her feel pleasantly drowsy, and she wanted to hold on to the feeling with both hands. They walked slowly. Maren stopped first at a cluster of plants near the eastern wall, a group of low, spreading specimens with leaves. That were the darkest green Noah had ever seen, almost black in the lamplight. Their surfaces so smooth and flat that they seemed to absorb the light rather than reflect it. "These are zamioculcas," he said. "Most people know them as ZZ plants. Office plants, people call them. Indestructible. Undemanding." He crouched slightly and held the lantern closer to the leaves. "But look at the way the light sits on them. Really look." Noah looked. The leaves didn't shine, but there was something about their surface, some quality of depth that made them look almost liquid, like dark, still water. "People underestimate quiet things," Maren said. He moved on. They passed beneath a corridor of enormous travelers' palms, whose wide, flat leaves fanned out overhead in perfect symmetry. And Maren told her that the plant always grew with its leaves aligned north to south, which had made it useful to lost travelers for centuries. "A compass made of leaves," Noah said. "A compass made of leaves," he agreed. She tilted her head back to look up at them. Through the gaps between the fronds, she could see the glass roof of the greenhouse. And beyond it, faintly, the dark blue-gray of the midnight sky. There were, she realized, no stars visible. The fog had covered them all. But the greenhouse didn't need stars. It had its own small galaxy of amber lights above. They stopped at a pond, a low, circular basin set into the mossy ground. Perhaps for feet across, its surface perfectly still and dark. Water lily rested on the surface, their pads overlapping like the pages of a book that had been laid face down and fanned open. Maren set the lantern on the edge of the basin, and they both looked into the water. The reflections were imperfect. The surface was so still that it reflected the lights above, but slightly blurred, slightly soft, like looking at a photograph taken just slightly out of focus. "I come here when I need to think," Maren said. "Something about looking at still water. It slows the brain." Noah could feel it already. The simple act of looking at the unmoving surface, at the doubled lily pads and the blurred amber lights, was doing something to her thoughts, untangling them, drawing them out long and slow like taffy until they were thin enough to drift. She yawned. "Sorry," she said. "Don't apologize," Maren said. "That's what you're here for." At the far end of the greenhouse, behind a curtain of hanging monstera vines, there was a section that Noah had never seen on her daytime visits. A small, enclosed alcove, barely larger than a room, where the air was thicker and warmer and smelled more intensely of soil and green growing things. This was where Maren kept his most delicate specimens, the ones that needed constant warmth and humidity, the ones that would wither in an ordinary climate. He pulled back the curtain of vines and they stepped through. The floor here was not mossy stone, but bare dark earth, slightly soft underfoot, and the air had a weight to it, a dense, humid warmth that was not quite comfortable and not quite uncomfortable, but something in between, something that felt alive. Small orchids clung to pieces of bark mounted on the walls. White ones with throats the color of pale cream, purple ones so dark they looked almost grey. One extraordinary yellow one with petals that curved back on themselves like a dancer mid-spin, A small, low bench sat in the corner, draped in a worn linen cloth. Noah sat on it without being asked. She was very warm now and very still. And the drowsiness she'd felt at the pond had deepened into something heavier and sweeter. The particular feeling of being somewhere so comfortable that the thought of moving felt almost absurd. Maren remained standing, looking at his orchids with the quiet affection of someone visiting old friends. "I've had some of these for 20 years, he sighed softly. "Some of them only bloom once a year. Some of them less than that. You wait and wait, and then one morning you come in, and there it is, one small bloom, perfectly formed, lasting maybe a week, and then it's gone." He looked at Noah. "I think that's what makes them so beautiful," he said. "They don't rush." Then, without warning, the misting system activated. There was a soft, rhythmic hiss, and from tiny nozzles mounted near the ceiling, a fine veil of mist descended through the alcove. Not rain, not quite fog, but something in between, something that caught the lamplight and turned it into 1,000 tiny floating sparks, before dissolving against the leaves and the dark soil and the backs of Noah's hands. She held her hands out, palms up, and watched the mist settle on them. It was cool, just barely, against the warmth of the air. She could feel each small droplet for a moment before it vanished into her skin. She breathed in. The smell intensified, richer now, darker. The smell of rain on hot earth, of roots and growth, and something ancient and slow. She closed her eyes. The mist fell. The heating system hummed its slow, steady hum. Somewhere above, a single large leaf shifted with the faint movement of air and settled again. Maren was quiet. Noah was quiet. The greenhouse was quiet. They made their way back to the picnic blanket slowly. Noah was not entirely sure she was still fully awake. She was in that particular state of late-night consciousness, where the edges of things are soft, and the thoughts that drift through the mind are quiet and aimless and pleasant. Not sleep exactly, but the antechamber of sleep, the long, slow hallway that leads to it. She settled back onto the cushions. Maren poured her one final cup of tea, a different blend this time. He said, something with valerian and lemon balm, and then he sat back on his own cushion and looked up through the canopy at the amber lights above. "Tell me something," he said, very softly. "What does your bed feel like right now from here?" Noah thought about it. "Soft," she said, "and very far away." "Indeed." He nodded as though this was exactly the right answer. "I find that often, when I'm somewhere beautiful, my own bed starts to seem further away. And then, when I finally reach it," he paused, "it feels like the most extraordinary place in the world, every time." Noah smiled without opening her eyes. She was imagining it, her bed. The particular weight of her duvet. The way the pillow compressed to exactly the right shape when she turned onto her side. The familiar darkness of her room. The faint light that came under the door from the hallway. It did sound extraordinary. The candle had burned low. The tea was almost gone. The misting system had fallen quiet. Maren was saying something very gently about a plant he had once grown from a single seed. A vanilla orchid, he said. That had taken 11 years to produce its first flower, and his voice was very low and very measured. And it moved through the warm air of the greenhouse, like the mist had moved, drifting and settling and dissolving. Noah heard the words, but not quite their shape. She was aware of the warmth, of the amber light behind her closed eyelids, of the smell of the soil, of the very faint sound of water, somewhere dripping from a large leaf into the dark earth below. Drip. Pause. Drip. At some point, she was not sure when Maren said, very quietly, "I think it's time." Noah opened her eyes. The greenhouse was the same as it had been, warm and amber, and alive with its silent population of leaves and roots, and quietly breathing things. "Time to go?" she asked. Her voice came out softer than she'd intended. "Time to find that bed," he said. She stood slowly. She buttoned her coat. She wrapped her scarf twice around her neck and tucked it in. Maren walked her to the wooden door. Outside, the fog was still thick, still soft, the garden still and sleeping around them. "Thank you," Noah said. "Sleep well," said Maren. He did not say come again. He did not say anything else. He simply stood in the warm glow of the greenhouse doorway, in his forest green sweater and his fox-covered socks, and watched her walk back up the mossy path toward the iron gates. Noah walked home through the fog. The streets were entirely empty now. The plain trees were very still. The cobblestones gleamed. She was not cold. She was not tired in the anxious way she sometimes felt before bed, that restless, wired tiredness that keeps a person lying awake watching the ceiling. She was tired in the other way, the good way. The way that starts in the center of the chest and spreads outward. Heavy and warm. The way warmth spreads through a cup held in two hands. She thought of the lily pond, of the mist on her palms, of the smell of the dark soil, of Maren's voice, low and steady, talking about a seed that had taken 11 years to flower. She climbed the stairs to her apartment. She hung up her coat. She pulled off her woolly socks and left them by the door. She turned off the hallway light, and she got into bed. The pillow was cool against her cheek, and then warm. The duvet settled over her, heavy and soft. The room was dark. Outside, the fog lay over the city, over the garden, over the greenhouse with its amber lights still glowing somewhere behind the glass. And in the warm interior, the plants breathed and dripped and grew very slowly in the dark. The way living things do. The way you are breathing now. Slowly, quietly, in and out. That's the end of tonight's story. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to do anything. If you're still awake, that's okay. Just let your body be heavy. Let your thoughts go where they want to go, gently, without chasing them. Think, maybe, of that warm greenhouse at midnight. The amber lights, the mist settling on your hands, the smell of warm earth and growing things, the low, steady hum. You are somewhere very comfortable. You are very safe. There is nothing you need to remember. There is nowhere you need to be, just here, just this. Just the soft dark and your breathing and the long, quiet night ahead. Sleep well.